time to talk. You say love really won't get you out since I was born.
So, I'm making this coat rack for a buddy of mine, and this guy, we've been friends for a long time, and he's been through a lot of stuff. He's getting ready to have twins here next month, and this guy's been through a lot of stuff. He's overcome addiction. He's been an alcoholic. He's a recovering alcoholic. This guy has been through so much and overcome so much, so he deserves something. This is the least that I can do for him, just to kind of show my appreciation for his friendship and everything else. I'm very proud of him for everything that he's done and accomplished. He's got a great woman by his side. They're getting ready to have twins, like I said, so very exciting. Everything's going to be very good. So this is his project. Love you, bud.
So we're going to start off with this hook because we're doing another hooked series. And I'm trying to put a spade on the end of this thing, and it did not pan out. It looked like a little tiny shovel. It was adorable. I ended up putting a good tight point back on this thing and fixed it up because I did not like the direction this was going. So here's the start of this coat rack, and the wood we have here is a cedar 1x6 tongue and groove, and the straps started out as 11/16 just mild steel bar. Since I started making hooks, my goal was to get a nice tight scroll with a very small taper into it, and I wanted it to look as good as Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas scrolls on his work. And with practicing and getting better at that taper, I've actually come to realize the taper of like using squaring it up and then getting it to a point with a hexagonal taper and then rounding it out. You can get a real fine taper, and I've actually watched quite a few good blacksmiths, and I wish I could remember the channels. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but they were making blacksmith knives, and it's got that really small fine point to it on the handle, and then it kind of comes back up and around and then ties back into the blade. So the handle is a very, very good scroll work, and everything's got to be very well controlled. And I thought that's the way to do it. As I watched them, I said, hey, that's the way to do it. So keep everything nice and uniform, keep it square, do the tight scroll work, keep everything as square as you can, and then round it out whenever you need to. So I tried something on this hook that I haven't done before, and that was just taper the tip, get the scroll, and then draw out the rest of the body for the hook. And honestly, I don't know why I did it this way. It was just a thought. I think that I was trying to kind of set a standard, if you will, a certain size for the scroll, a certain size for the body of the hook, a certain size for where you flatten it out to mount it. Just something easy. So if you measure the width of the anvil and you have that as the body, and then by the time you bend it around, it ends up, you can measure again the width of the anvil. For this one anyway, it's a pretty thin anvil, but I was just trying to set a standard so that way I have more uniform hooks. That way they all kind of come out looking pretty similar and not all janky like. So I'm pretty happy with the overall shape of this thing. Now we're going to do a hot cut with my chisel that I made out of that coil spring. And like I was saying earlier with the size of it, I just kind of picked a spot. I didn't really know, I didn't really have a reason to pick it. I just, hey, this looks like it'll give me enough material. So we did a hot cut on it. And you know, we just made that. Now you do have to be careful. You see this bending and snapping here, getting it off, you know, as it red hot. If you drive that chisel down into the anvil, it will launch that hook or whatever you're cutting off, and it'll launch it in high speeds, and you got hot metal flying everywhere. So that is a very, this was something I figured out from experience, and it was, I lucked out. Let's just say I lucked out. So here we're just kind of heating it up, touching everything up, flattening the spot where we are going to mark the holes to mount. Everything's nice and straight. Look at that sucker. And we're going to mark these holes and get it going.
Out right here.
So you do a cold mark and you just do a little punch mark on it. Then you put it back in the forge, and when you take it out, you can still see that punch mark on there, just barely. It's barely visible. So what I'm doing is just, while it's still pretty hot, I'm running this punch on it and making it a little bigger at a time, and then it's going to cool off enough to allow me to punch that slug out of the hole.
I used a punch that was too big, and it ripped the whole side out. And as you can see, I'm completely devastated. This isn't sweat, these are tears. But my cameraman, Jenna, just told me, why don't we just cut this off, use this as the top hole right there, flatten that out just a skosh, and put another bottom hole in there. I said, genius. So that's what we're gonna do.
So we in fact did end up doing that. Unfortunately, everything was a little hot and the phone was overheating, and we weren't able to get any video of the ending of this hook. So here is the finished product. You got our 2 holes in there, the good scroll. This is another hook that I made just right after that one, and I wanted to try a little twist on it, so we got the twist on there. Did not get to punch the holes, but we got after it. Let me know what you guys think about that hook there. Right here, we are hammering out that strap. Now all we're doing is taking that 11/16 bar, or that bar stock, and just flattening it out. Trying to keep it about 1.5 inches wide, and it's got to cover the length or the width of that coat rack. I want to thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to watch me smack a bunch of hot steel with a hammer and create some things. If you guys have any questions or any comments or anything like that, hey, let me know, and we'll do our best to get back to you. Thank you.